Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Good evening and welcome to Waste Primetime. My name is Choma Kalu. And tonight we're talking about something really amazing, something really interesting. So a tense confrontation unfolded, I like to call it a drama, unfolded in Abuja on yesterday, when the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, clashed with a military officer during an enforcement operation on a disputed plot of land allegedly linked to a former Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Zubairu Gambo, retired. Now, the encounter, which quickly went viral on social media, captured the moment the minister verbally confronted the lieutenant identified as A.M. Yarima after soldiers reportedly prevented officials of the FCTA from gaining access to the site. Now, in a video, in the video making rounds on social media, Wike, visibly angered by the soldiers' defiance, demanded to know under whose authority the military had occupied the property, which FCTA official had been, said had been marked for, demolition for violating the Abuja master plan. But just before I go forward, I think we have the video, so we'll just take a look at the video.
The man took the Arab, will not allow going for the chief of naval and then you to carry land.
Sir, everything was acquired legally.
Will you stop
and
that?
You get
Will you stop that?
Sir, I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, your man, put us.
I will not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir,
I was in school, you're not in school.
Sir, you can't shut
Will
me
you keep quiet?
Get
Get me a big fool.
I'm not
You are a big fool.
I'm not a fool,
You
sir.
can shoot anybody like that.
Sir, I'm not
You
a
are a big
fool.
fool. Who are you?
I am not a fool, sir.
As for the time I
You can't
graduated,
call me a fool.
you were in primary school.
I'm acting on orders.
Take for
You
which
can't
order?
call me a fool.
And this, you will see whether you love this here.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
Go
I'm
and
not a
develop your
fool. I'm an
mind,
officer.
develop
I'm not a fool, sir.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
an
with you.
officer.
I'm so corrupt. You would have killed everybody here.
No, we won't kill anybody. We won't kill anybody. We are acting on orders.
Go and develop here. Let me see you.
Regular officer, you won't come and complain.
We are going to get out. Go.
I'm not even seeing what Now, the public outburst has, since sparked nationwide debates. There's been a lot of debates on the mainstream media, over the limits of ministerial power, military conduct in civil spaces, and the persistent tension between Nigeria's civilian authorities and the armed forces. So tonight, we'll be making sense of what really happened, okay? We'll be trying to understand it both from the military perspective and the civilian perspective, exactly to also find out what it means for accountability in public service. Now, remember, Ways is all about you, as you are the why in our ways. So be a part of the conversation every single day and add your voice to the discussions. Head on now to YouTube if you already have not subscribed. Look for us at Official Upgrade TV. Now, you subscribe, you like, share, and invite your friends and family to join the show. Also, when I open my phone lines, I'd really love to hear what you have to say on this particular dilemma, drama, whatever you want to call it. All right. As always, here is a quote for you to ponder on for the day. It says, in a democracy, the rule of law is not optional. It is the only thing that separates order from chaos. And this was said by Femi Falana, the human rights lawyer, who gets, of course, we'll find a way, to open this up much later. But first of all, we'll go on a quick break. And when I come back, I take you through the news that caught my interest for the day. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. Here are a few news stories that caught my interest today. If you're just tuned in, we're going to be having a very interesting conversation. But before then, the very first story that caught my interest was a report by World Bank that says only 44% of social benefits reach poor Nigerians. I think I like this one. Now, the story says, despite billions of naira spent yearly to cushion hardship, a new World Bank report says Nigeria's social safety net programs are failing to reach those who need them the most. Now, in a new report titled The State of Social Safety Net in Nigeria, obtained on Tuesday, the bank revealed that only 44% of total benefits from government-funded safety net schemes actually reach poor Nigerians. Recently, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, announced that the federal government is targeting 15 million households, covering some 70 million people via the digital cash grant scheme. Now, he disclosed that about 8.5 million households have already received at least one tranche of the 25,000 naira payment, while the remaining 6.5 million households are expected to be paid before year end. Now, despite this, the World Bank described Nigeria's social safety net spendings as inefficient, saying a smaller portion of benefits goes to the poor, despite their dominance among the beneficiaries. Now, according to the bank, while about 56% of the recipients of safety net programs are poor, they only receive 44% of the total benefits. It explained that this imbalance stems from the way most programs, including the National Social Safety Net program, allocate a fixed amount per household rather than per person. One beautiful thing I like about World Bank is when they do these reports and put it out there, it sometimes it feels like, oh, they are calling Nigeria out, and all of that. And then also Nigeria always has a way to come back and counter what the report says and all of that. But you also understand that these reports are based on data, right? Which you get to see as well. So we don't have to play pretend with the state of the nation, of course. And I think I share the sentiments of the World Bank. You don't want to put all of these poverty alleviation schemes, national social safety nets program, and you're saying, oh, we're going to do per household. No, you can't give a household that is made up of 3 people, father, mother, child, and give them 25,000, and then another household made up of 10 people, father, mother, and 8 children. You still give them, 25,000. It's just a very, very, very huge imbalance. All right. So that way, you're not alleviating the poverty. You're not dealing with the problem. You're rather, I don't know. There's an imbalance it creates, really. So I really do wish that rather than want to counter this report by the World Bank, we would take this, and go back in retrospect and try to reevaluate how better to serve the nation, because the plan is to alleviate poverty, to make things better for Nigerians, basically. Okay, like I said, don't sit up there and write figures and come on paper and tell us we're doing great. Poverty, we're moving up the poverty charts, we're almost going to get out of it, when in the actual sense we're falling deeper into it. So rather than coming out to counter the World Bank's report, I think we should take this in good faith. Criticism is not a bad thing. This is called a feedback, right? Take it as a feedback and reevaluate and find a way to serve the nation better. All right, moving on to my second story. Maybe my last story for today. It says panic as bandits abduct 6 defense ministry directors and kill 3 youths in Nasarawa. This is a really sad story. Now, it says panic has gripped the Federal Civil Service following the abduction of 6 directors of the Federal Ministry of Defense by gunmen along the Kaba-Lokoja Highway. Now, this came as no fewer than 3 Mijo youth have been killed by bandits despite the state government's threat to deal decisively with perpetrators. Now, the abduction of 6 directors, it was gathered, happened on November 10th, 2025. The senior officers who were traveling from Lagos to Abuja for a directorate-level promotion exams were intercepted by the assailants in what sources described as a well-coordinated ambush. According to the statement, those kidnapped are Mrs. Ngozi Ibeziako, Mrs. C. Emeribe, Mrs. Helen Ezako, Mrs. C. Ladoye, Mrs. J. Onwuzurike, and Mrs. Catherine Essien. Now, these directors, who are members of our union, that's according to the statement, and staff of the Command Day Secondary School, CDSS Ojo, Lagos, were traveling from Lagos to Abuja when they were kidnapped. Now, the ASCSN disclosed that the Defense Ministry had already mobilized its security operatives who are taking urgent steps to ensure the safe rescue of the abducted directors. Now, the statement further said, "We have always advised the Federal Civil Service Commission to conduct promotion exams in the..." I took a trip. I made that trip sometime earlier this... I don't know. I kind of vowed... It's the state of the road is very, 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 very appalling. It's really sad. And to even think that, of course, they will take the road because, of course, they cannot afford air tickets because it's outrageously high. But this is really sad, and I do hope that such parties, whatever is going to be put in place, should be implemented faster, to rescue these people. These are mothers. These are mothers of families, I mean, put yourself in the shoes of their families. I really do hope that their families get themselves together and somehow Nigeria doesn't fail them in this regard. Anyway, let's go on a short break. And when we come back, we'll dive right into our topic for tonight. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you just tuned in, our topic tonight is, bordering on power, land, public outburst, and we're going to be analyzing the Wike-Soldier standoff in Abuja. So please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation by sending an SMS or WhatsApp to 0818-038-4663. Also, the phone lines are open. You can call us on 070-2500-7749 and also on 0701-4242-420. Let's hear your thoughts. Now, you see, what should have been a routine enforcement in Abuja turned into something... I don't know who made that video recording, right? It showed Wike very angry. Authority earlier, and I'm sure everybody must have seen it. At one point, he called that officer a fool. Yes, he did that. Now, the exchange has since, gone viral, of course, and there's been a lot of debates over power, respect, rule of law, all of that, right? And we're asking, was this a justified show of authority or an abuse of power on both ends? Because right now, I'm not picking a side. Is it an abuse of power and a justified show of authority? And what does it say about the delicate relationship between civilian governance and military influence in Nigeria's democracy? A lot of questions I have to ask. And further development. I saw the defense minister coming out to say, oh, they will do everything in their power to ensure that they protect every officer, who were part of that drama. And I like the solidarity. I like that you're not selling your people off. All right. Joining me tonight to help us make sense of what really happened, and what it means for accountability. So I Duruwaye Herbert, Secretary and Spokesperson, CCV Coalition of Concerned Military Veterans. I also have George Turner, Zonal Secretary, PDP South Zone. And finally, I have Comrade Dr. Awal Abdullahi Aliyu, Secretary General, Military Veterans Federation of Nigeria. Good evening, gentlemen, and thank you for joining me on the show tonight.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. Thank you for having.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I want to start with Dr. Awal, right? I'm going to start with you. Okay, tell me what you make out of that brouhaha that happened yesterday. What do you make out of it?
Well, the truth is, it is quite unfortunate and truly unnecessary for such a thing to have happened. And then look at the way it has gone viral. It is a national embarrassment, you know, and it is quite unfortunate and really unexpected and truly not needed at this very point in time of Nigeria's national security, cohesion, integration, you know, interagency relation that the armed forces has tried its best and is still trying to formalize and also to normalize, so that the relationship between the civilians and the military is truly upheld and also respected and as well as valued. That was what I have to say for now, but it is truly unfortunate, uncalled for. It is disheartening. You know, it is a national embarrassment that needed to have been avoided under all circumstances. This shouldn't have happened because if the minister has stayed back in his office, functioned as a minister of the Federal Republic, as a former chief executive of a state, a former governor, and in fact, holding the position of Minister of Federal Capital right now is almost as being another state governor because he's controlling more like the Federal Capital is ordinarily under normal circumstances is supposed to be the position of a mayor, which is equivalent to a governor. So even as a minister, he's almost having the powers of a state governor. One of the only ministers that have such powers to function, and that has non-interference from the presidency, that's from the federal government or from the president, is not interfering with his activities. So he's supposed to have functioned independently and also function administratively, you know, taking into consideration all the norms, values, and ethics of the jobs, you know, and of course, administrative upliftment of the federal capital. He is the face of the country, so to say, because the federal capital is the heart of the country, and he is the one administering the heart of the country. So he's supposed to have played his role with decorum, with respect, with all dignity, with administrative ability and strategy, you know, with all necessary calmness and composure, with all necessary responsibility, and of course, leadership that is supposed to have displayed. But unfortunately, as you can see, he has derogated the office of the minister to almost like an office of a councillor. It is only even a local government councillor. I don't think would have behaved the way the minister displayed, the attitude he's displayed. And I can guarantee you that the armed forces is a well-organized structure. The armed forces is a body that is highly disciplined, highly professional, and as displayed by Lieutenant, the officer Yerima. You have seen it. You have seen the calmness in him. You have seen the composure. You have seen how organized he is. You see how unprovoked he becomes. And then even at the point of provocation, at the point of harassment, at the point of intimidation, he's composed and he respectfully explained himself. He respectfully presented himself with discipline, with humanity. He's been humane, even though being very professional and not dragging the point and not losing his ability, as well as maintaining his professionalism, presenting himself as a well-trained, combatant military officer that he is. And as you can see, he's been highly celebrated by Nigerians from all from all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria, irrespective of tribe, region, religion, political affiliation, or even the security angle from any other person that comes from. The guy has been highly appreciated. And then this is a scorecard for the armed forces. That is to tell you that the officers and men of the Nigerian armed forces are well trained, are well organized, highly respected, well coordinated, very understanding, and then professionally inclined when it comes to carrying out their duties.
All right, thank you so much. Let me come to you, Mr. Turner. Let me hear your opening thoughts on this whole tension drama that happened in Abuja yesterday. What do you think?
First foremost, you want to agree with me that this matter is a delicate one and one that is very sensitive. Delicate in the sense that the young officer involved, military officer, and by their training, they are meant to obey or carry out orders, superior orders. Now, I would like to add lawful orders. And I'm happy that the Minister of Defense, in his speech, also noted that the ministry or the defense headquarters, as it were, will protect every officer who carries out a lawful order in the course of the assignment. As a lawyer, if one was to formulate a question in the determination of all this that have happened, the first question would be whether the young officer involved in this whole thing was indeed carrying out a lawful order. That would be number one.
Do you think he was carrying out a lawful order?
I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming. In arriving at whether or not he was carrying out a lawful order, you may need to look at the functions of the Nigerian military. What are the functions? If guarding a private development, a private site under construction, for the purpose of obstructing agencies and departments of government from carrying out their statutory duties and function, then the order would be lawful. But if the functions of the Nigerian military does not include an officer to guard a private development or construction site for the purpose of obstructing officers, agencies, departments of government on lawful duty or from carrying out statutory function, then it will be unlawful. But I'm not here to make those findings because the facts, I'm coming, please. Like I said, it's a sensitive matter. Now, why was the minister there? Explanation have been offered that officers of the Development Control Department of the FCT had previously and possibly severally gone there to carry out their statutory duties, which of course includes even shutting down sites of illegal construction. Assuming you want to build, let's say the land is even your own, you acquire the land legitimately and you want to build. We all know in this country that you must have a plan submitted to the relevant development control. If it's at the local government, usually you go to local government. And the plan is approved, stamped, and then you go to site. We also know for free in this country that where you do not comply or conform with these requirements, development controls across the country have always had the statutory powers to even seal or stop work, place a stop work order on such construction. It doesn't matter whoever. You see, Nigeria must be governed on the basis of rule of law. That is another dimension to it.
Mr. Turner, just because we are pressed for time. I know,
so,
but because we're pressed for time, I'd just like to add this.
From the minister's office, it has been said that it was when these complaints came back to him by his officers that he went there for on-the-spot assessment or a fact-finding mission. Do you say that a minister of FCT who has his staffs molested do not have the moral justification to make a visit to such a site?
I hear you, Mr. Turner, but I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you because of time, right? I hear you perfectly, but here is the context I want to come from, right? The soldier was the wrong enemy that was being fought. That's what I think. Okay,
don't you think?
Don't you think? Because he was acting on instructions, on orders, right? How about? I was wondering, right? Why are you speaking to the officer? Why are you not speaking to who sent him on that assignment? But I mean, I'm going to come back to you, but let me take it to Dr. Awal.
No, can I just, so that we don't lose this thought?
No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't. Okay.
Yes,
go ahead, 1 minute.
Yes, so now if you watch the video, you will observe that when the minister got down there, the struggle to block him started immediately he arrived. Now, when the minister was speaking, he was not addressing the officer. He was actually angered about the unlawful development and improper acquisition until the officer told the minister that the land was properly acquired. I want you to listen to that video.
I heard that.
It was at that point that the minister lost it. Could he have lost it if it were me? Of course, everybody acts differently. Maybe if you were the one, you would act differently. That is the minister of FCT, Wike. He has acted in the manner he acted. It may not be right, it may not be wrong, but what matters here is that, and look, it is delicate because if you also allow officers, young officers, to have a choice of what order, to determine what order is lawful or not, you create problem for the military. It will be a big problem. So the defense headquarters, I am also sure, will be in a dilemma on how to go about this matter, because if there's an accident, they will take it, it will affect the rank and file. And once taking order and carrying out order becomes a problem in the Nigerian military, then we are in a big problem. So I pray for wisdom for leaders, to be able to navigate through this situation. But don't forget that the president of Nigeria is the governor of FCT. And he governs through the minister of the FCT.
I have to go to Dr. Awal now. I have to go to Dr. Awal because of time. Dr. Awal, I want to come to you, right? This outburst that we saw with the FCT minister, right? I want to find out if you think it's appropriate, right? What do you make out of it? Because yes, I understand the point Mr. Turner is making, but also, like I said, for context, this guy was acting out of instructions, like he rightly said. So what would it be for you, sir?
Well, first and additionally, it is quite unfortunate, like I have said earlier, for a federal minister, a former chief executive of a state, and being a federal minister and minister of FCT, to have acted the way he acted under whatever circumstances. There are administrative way of handling matters like this. He should have resorted to the administrative ways of handling matters, not coming there to confront an officer of the Federal Republic who has a presidential commission, whose responsibility is the protection of lives and property, and for him to come with the same troops intimidating, harassing, coercing, and insulting his uniform. In fact, by implication, he has just succeeded in insulting the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and by that, he has even succeeded in insulting the commander-in-chief, the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Whatever reason, whatever condition, no matter how you want to look at it, no matter how you want to interpret it, whatever logic you want to use in the name of law, Wike have failed. Wike have failed woefully, and he has presented himself unadministrative, unprofessional, and like a leader that he's supposed to be. This is a young man. Wike called a fool, called an idiot, said you were in primary school when I graduated. This is quite unnecessary. And this soldier said to him, "Sir, there are lawful documents that on this property." If he says so, all we can need to do is not to continue to argue with that young man whose Wike is old enough to be his father or even grandfather. What he should have done, I repeat, he should have administratively handled this matter through the minister, a fellow minister like him, that any of the two ministers of defense, or the chief of defense staff like he did later, or the chief of naval staff, since the officer is a naval officer and then the owner of the property is equally a naval officer. So he should have done that, not resorting to open confrontation, insult. I repeat, he has not just insulted that officer. He has insulted the uniform. He has insulted the armed forces of Nigeria, which is unbecoming of an administrator, so to say. Now, like I said, whether using a legal term or using whatever administrative strategy or technique or whatever you want to use, Wike is salty, and there's no amount of word or strategy or technique that we will use that Nigerians will accept that Wike has not done the wrong thing. Nothing. If you want, you can come out and protect Wike. You can say he hasn't done anything wrong. There are even senior advocates, whom have seen the law, the front and the back, the up and down, all angles of the law have spoken. Femi Falan has spoken about this thing, and everybody heard what he said. And other senior advocates of Nigeria have also lent their voice to this very matter. So has other administrators, politicians alike, technocrats. Every Nigerian have come to lend his voice on this matter, and everybody has appreciated the calmness, the composure, the discipline, the professionalism of that young military officer. And every Nigerian disagreed wholly. Everyone out of 100, let's use this ratio, 100 Nigerians, 98% of Nigerians have agreed that what Wike did was wrong, that he did not approach that matter the way he's supposed to have approached it, and that he has ended humiliating himself. And I want to commend the Minister of Defense, Badaru Abubakar, and of course the Minister of State Defense, Dr. Bello Metowale, the Chief of Defense Staff, and all the service chiefs for taking this matter, professionally. What Wike thought would have happened by reporting, calling the CDS and calling the CNS, was that for that soldier to be further humiliated, he wanted to use arrogate power that is arrogating to himself to get that officer humiliated and things like that. But he does not know that the armed forces is a professional body. It's highly disciplined. And that is why it is called armed forces. And in any case, it is an issue of command and control. Wike can give instruction to his boys to go and do what they needed to do. And in the explanation of that officer, he tried to portray that these guys have come more than 2 or 3 times, and there was a discussion between them. And they came harassing, intimidating, and threatening to shoot the engineer and the workers there. That was what he was explaining to Wike. And Wike never want to listen and become abrogated and begin to insult. Look at the composure. Even right now on the video, look at it. The composure and how organized the young man is. This is what is expected, that this is how Wike should have been. This is how Wike should have behaved, not behaving the way he's behaving, because, you know, he's good in, you know, abrogating, insulting, doing whatever he wants to whoever he wants, and he gets scot-free. Now, this boy has not insulted him. He has not disrespected him. He has not downgraded him, but he become professional. In the turn, it was Wike who now humiliated himself by saying, you will have to leave this place. Eventually, it is Wike who left instead of the boy leaving, because he knew his job. He knew why he is there. He believed in himself. He believed in his profession, and he believed what he's doing is right and within the context of an order that is a lawful order that has been given to him that is carrying out. Even when Wike tried to humiliate by saying, you can shoot us, the boy said, we are not going, I have integrity, I am not here to shoot anybody, and nobody will be shot. You know, this is
all right,
the
Dr.
profession.
What's a uniformed officer, a consistent city minister?
I have listened to my brother, and I would have said a few things, but initially I thought he was speaking as a patriotic, concerned, citizen. But there are some language he now used that shows me clearly where he belongs in terms of how he appreciates Wike, whether to the left or to the right. Ordinarily, I would have possibly picked up a few things he said, and then we have a conversation. Like I said, it's not a matter that one is proud of. I am a Nigerian. It's not about being on Wike's side or being on the side of the young officer. If you observe my last statement, I told you the implications it could bring to the military, assuming young officers allowed with the discretion, assuming you punish this guy now. So that will send fears to young officers to now have the privilege to filter what orders to obey and what orders not to obey. That will be very dangerous for our military. And I thought that the conversation should have taken that tone. But when he deviated on Wike, I will get this, Wike is that, Wike.
Yeah, but please, can you respond to the question?
I'm coming.
Oh, we're pressed for time, sir.
I'm coming. Yeah, when I was talking, you kept pressing for time. But I was surprised that when he traveled on the way he did, you never bothered.
Oh, no, it's nothing like that.
But let me just say this. I sympathize with the situation. I am troubled as a Nigerian that a minister of the Federal Republic could be treated in that manner. I also sympathize for the young officer, that he could have himself in a position where he is taking on. Like I said, some of the things Minister Wike said there, if I were in his shoes, I may act differently.
Okay.
If my brother there was in his shoes, he may act differently.
Okay.
You also know that there are some Nigerians, if they were in Wike's shoes, by now it is blood and dead bodies would have been counted.
Yes.
So everybody has a way, their own temperament, and all of that. I also heard in that video somebody telling a police officer that if not that minister is here, you bloody policeman. Police officer too is in uniform. Maybe the police uniform does not represent Nigerian uniform. So let us not, when we have this kind of situation, let us take away ourselves from emotions and then speak as Nigerians. This situation is troubling. I would never have imagined that an officer will stand, and then an officer will come where a minister will, will have that altercation and all of that. So I pray for wisdom, for our leaders to be able to handle this situation and navigate it through. We are one Nigeria. I can also tell you that if it was not Wike, if it was to be any other person, any other minister, even my brother here would toe a different line. On this same matter, the same scenario, the same situation, the same fact, the same everything.
So you're saying the sentiments are based off on the fact that it is the sitting minister.
It shouldn't be so. We are Nigerians. I don't appreciate some of the language. Wike is my leader, and if I look, one thing I do, if I can't speak truth to leadership, like if I can't tell Minister Wike, for instance, Oga, no, this one where you do no good. This language where you use no, you should have just allowed them. If they didn't want to allow you, should have just walked away now. If I can't tell Minister Wike, whom I call my leader, if I can't speak true to him, then I am not worthy to be a follower to him.
I agree. But now here is another...
I am not worthy to be a follower, but I can... Did this need to happen in the fact? No. Do we need to blame Wike for going there? No. Whose jobs, statutory jobs were stopped? No. Do we need to say that it is proper for, if I am a general in the Nigerian Army, I should just take laws into my hand, move military. If I want, I take the whole of Asokoro and I just put my boys and demolish everything and start building my own. Is that the kind of society we want? If it is so, it's okay. But I, as a Nigerian, I feel that this situation is sad, and I sympathize with the minister and the young officer.
Okay.
And parties should find an amicable way of resolving, the issues.
Yeah. Just to add to my earlier question, I mean, what you're saying is similar to what the minister's aide, Larry, said earlier today. But I understand that, yes, emotions got in the way. And like you're saying, each of us would have reacted maybe even worse, all right? But now I'm talking about a person in that office, right? Are we also going to, excuse him for using those languages? Are we also going to excuse other people because it's a matter of office, not just person now? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So yes, so
I have made my point that yeah. I sympathize with the officer. I said so.
Okay.
And that some of the provocative, the fallout of the provocation on the side of the minister. You see, when you are in such situation and anger boils, right? You could, but I understand what you're saying at leadership level, temperaments and coordinations and all of that. Minister Wike got to that place with no courtesy at all from, you see, if, for instance, you watch the video from his arrival, the audacity of stopping him was immediate from his arrival. If, for instance, the minister got down there and the officer, there is no blockage, there is no obstruction, and he goes in there, young man, what is happening here? I hear that my officers are being harassed. What is the problem? The conversation perhaps would have taken a different tone. But from the arrival of the minister, it's already been Haba. Well, the boy is an angel, no problem.
All right,
we get today, it might be somebody else tomorrow.
We will go on a short break, and when we come back, let's gentlemen, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll pick the conversation again. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're analyzing the little feud we saw in Abuja between the FCT minister and the officer who was standing in the land of disputes, I must call it that. And I have Judge Turner and the veteran minister, military official, Dr. Awal. Welcome back, gentlemen. So I'm going to come to you, Dr. Awal. I need you to respond to this. Like I said, first of all, Judge Turner has said, oh, we must have behaved differently if we were in that shoe. And I was asking, right, is it a thing of the person or a thing of the office? Is it excusable for the minister to, react that way using strong languages, on camera, on the young officer? Is it excusable? Because, emotions could have gotten a better part of him. But then, he is a minister. We'll not forget that part. What do you have to say?
Well, I like I said earlier, even before then, I heard you mention veteran commander Abiodun Duro Wike-Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
That was supposed to be part of this conversation.
He couldn't make it, unfortunately.
But then I don't know why he's not here.
He couldn't make it.
But all the same, my brother there, Tona, was speaking about being sentimental and then thinking of attacking Wike. But he has just confessed that Wike is his boss. And then he is his strong supporter. And he has also emotionally, at the end of it, said that if that is the way Nigeria is going to go, that the boy is an angel. You see, that is a statement that is indicating that he's not satisfied that Nigerians are saying what the boy did was right by not disrespecting the minister and standing his ground. That is, by the way, coming back to the question that you asked concerning whether it is right for the office or the person occupying the office to have display the way Wike displayed. And just like also my brother Turner tried to say, if I were the one, I would have acted differently. Yes, surely. If I were the one, I would have acted politely. I would have acted with dignity. I would have acted with respect. I would have acted with professionalism. In fact, I wouldn't have even gone there, because if there is a land and they said soldiers block the place, I repeat, there are two ministers in Ministry of Defense, Minister of Defense and Minister of State Defense, who are equally politicians like Wike, Minister of FCT. Or he can decide to communicate to the Chief of Defense Staff or the Chief of Naval Staff, as he later did on the ground after the situation has become worsened. He should have done that. An administrator is an administrator. If you're an administrator, you needed to apply administrative strategies in every of your function, in every of your activity. If I were the one, I would have politely reached out. I wouldn't have gone there. I would have just reached out to this my colleagues, the politician ministers, or professionally reach out to the armed forces highest leadership of the Chief of Defense Staff or in the Chief of Naval Staff and discuss this matter, and then they will, in any case, if there's any provocation, reach out to whoever that is the one that gives the instruction to the young officer to have discussed, and this scenario wouldn't have shown itself. That is a professional way of handling things. But every Nigerian know Wike. He will do whatever he wants to do at whatever time he wants to do to whoever he wants, and he is known for this insult, disrespect, provocative attitude, provocative statement. It is everywhere. Everybody watch his interviews, his press conferences, his discussion, the way he addresses people. You can even see there on the ground how he is hitting and pushing his security aide. He was hitting them with hand. He was pushing them, which is on off. Unlike that is not how it's supposed to be for a federal minister. You are supposed to give a simple instruction, not to act physically trying to use very wrong. He has disrespected that office. The office of the Minister of Federal Capital Territory is a very high office. He's holding forth that office for the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. So he should behave, he should have acted with decorum, he should have acted with respect, he should have acted administratively in handling this very matter, not the way he handled it. And this, like I said, is generally Nigerians have totally, like I said, if there are 100 Nigerians that have spoken about this very matter, 98% of Nigerians that have spoken not in favor of the way the minister acted, but rather in favor of the professionalism and the decorum and the discipline displayed by that young officer. I am not taking side. I am saying what Nigerians are saying. It is there. You know it. I know it. Every Nigerian knows it. It's not, where does he got that power
Dr.
from? Where did he possess that power from? You know.
Mr. Turner, just before we wrap up, in the bid to fix this, to reconcile these issues, do you think anybody should apologize? Okay, do you think the minister owes the military, an apology, at least for the insults, the strong languages? What do you think?
It would have been good for my brother to confirm that all that he has said there is personal opinion, which of course is entitled to. Because he said if it was him, he would have acted like this, he would have acted like that. And let him just say that there is personal opinion. I have mine. Mine might be different from his. But again, like I said, we saw the way, if you watch that video, from when the minister was coming in, that video was not done by the minister's team. If you watch the video started from behind the military officers. We'll take a watch. I will send you a clip of it, a part of it when we finish.
Okay.
And then say, Wike don't come, Wike don't come. From the officers, they were videoing, say, Wike don't come. And then you can hear a bloody civilian minister. I will send it, I will send to you.
Okay.
So look, provocation. People, when you are provoked, people can act differently.
Okay.
I am not Minister Wike. If it were me, I would have acted differently.
So you don't think he owes the military an apology?
He would have acted differently. On both sides, you can find rights, you can find wrongs. We are Nigerians. Do we need to move forward? Do we need to make progress? Yes. Do we need to reconcile? Yes. If there are apologies, it doesn't take away anything from anybody.
So you think Wike should apologize to the military?
After all, they are all serving. After all, both parties are all serving we, the people of Nigeria. Is it also? And yes. I feel that the biggest apology is to us.
Okay.
We, the people of Nigeria. But for a minister of the Federal Republic to be so stopped in the line of duty, like the foundation, you can't put something on nothing and expect it to stand. I like going to state the facts. First, you can talk about the exceptions later. What are the facts of this matter? The minister of the FCT in the line of duty was stopped. Is it good? Is it something that should be encouraged? If it is yes from, my brother here and all the Nigerian voices that he amplifies, it's okay.
Okay.
No problem. Like I said, it is wicked today. It might be another person tomorrow.
Please, I just
let there be peace.
Yes, please, just give us a yes or a no. Do you think Wike should apologize to the military, at least for the strong languages? Yes or no, please.
Well, but that is his personal decision to make.
What do you think that decision should be? What do you think? Do you think he should apologize?
The minister might also feel that he's entitled to apologies. that is not wearing uniform does not make him
Mr.
less
Turner,
an officer.
Mr. Turner,
No,
it was a yes or no question.
I'm coming. That Minister Wike is not wearing uniform, or is not a commissioned uniform officer, does not make him any less an officer of the public service of Nigeria. You know,
anyway,
but like
I
said,
take it you're declining to answer this question, sir.
Right. All parties should find a comfortable position to meet in the middle and resolve these conflicts in the interest of we, the people of Nigeria.
All right. Okay.
Okay, look at this video now. No, you are there. You are there. You see? Are you seeing the shot?
Yes.
Look at the camera.
We have the videos, sir. We've seen it.
Good. So look at the shot. Look at the shot. From where
we've seen it, sir.
Taken.
Yes.
And then listen carefully. You will hear Wike they come. And then you hear other things like bloody civilian minister. You see, my sister, leave. Forget.
Okay.
Leave
all right. Let me come to you, Dr. Awal.
The issues are sensitive. I don't think.
Okay.
Should,
all right. I understand. I understand that you would rather not answer my question, but that's fine. I'm coming to you, Dr. Awal. Do you think Wike owes the military an apology for the strong languages he used on that officer?
Yes. Imagine. He's already speaking for me. He's not allowing me to speak for myself. He's speaking for me. He's speaking for Wike. Now he wants to speak for me. Can you imagine?
Well, you will say yes. I know.
Can you imagine? You are speaking for Wike. Now you are speaking for me. I am physically here with you doing the interview, but you're not allowing me to speak.
Okay, gentlemen, please, we're really pressed for time. Dr. Awal, please answer, and so we can wrap up the show.
Wike should not only apologize to the Yerima, Wike should first and foremost apologize to the President and Commander-in-Chief, because he is the Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces. He has just insulted an officer of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So Wike should apologize first to the President, Commander-in-Chief who appointed him. Apologize to the Armed Forces of Nigeria, for he has succeeded in humiliating and embarrassing the Nigerian Armed Forces uniform, not Yerima. Now, thirdly, then he should apologize to Nigerians for making Nigeria and Nigerians belittling the uniform and the armed forces of this country. Then apologize to Yerima personally for calling him an idiot and calling him a fool.
All right, thank you so much. This is where we draw the curtain tonight. This is, unfortunately, Mr. Turner, we have to go. Thank you so much for your contributions. I hope to see you guys again on this show, and do have a good evening. All right, back to you, viewers. You see, interesting conversations, I must admit. But you see, leadership isn't just about enforcing power. It's about showing restraint, okay? That moment between Wike and the soldier was more than a clash of authority. It was a test of character, personal character. And yes, no one is above the law. But how we uphold the law, you know, how we hold on to it, it matters so much. And when anger replaces composure, leadership loses its moral weight. And power must be firm, really. But it must also be respectful, because true authority is not proved by insults. I personally would say that again. True authority is not proved by insult. It's proved by your calmness and controlled strength. And that's all we have for you tonight. Before we go, remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Drop a comment. Follow us on all social media platforms. And if you missed our quote earlier, it says, in a democracy, the rule of law is not optional. It is the only thing that separates order from chaos. And that was said by Femi Falana, human rights lawyer. My name is Choma Kalu, and this has been Waste Primetime. I hope you enjoyed the show. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.